Hello, everybody, and welcome to another energy update with me, Rebecca Meisel. I am so excited to bring you some beautiful channeled messages for your week ahead for April 16th through to the 23rd. And we have some beautiful themes that I am excited to delve into. So to start off our reading today, I wanted to talk a bit about this main theme about releasing worry and fear. So we have this really big theme that's been coming through. We're approaching Mercury retrograde. We're approaching these very strong planetary alignments that are bringing a lot of freedom and bringing a lot of awareness and illuminating some shadow aspects, some shadow work, to where we ourselves might be needing to do a little bit of introspection and a little bit of a deeper dive into our lives at present. And this was really coming up this week. And so I'm really hearing for a lot of us to work with this energy and releasing the worry and the fear, because this is really happening for our highest good. So as we continue through our spiritual journey, a lot of times we're going to have these moments where we have this anxiety. We're not sure of what our next steps are. Perhaps our life has totally changed over the past few months. And honestly, talking to a lot of my clients and even myself, it's like these big earth changing or life changing moments have happened. There's been so much progression. There's been so much instantaneous change, it almost feels like, in the past few months with this forward momentum. We're making these choices to choose ourselves, and with that, the energy changes with that. The moment we start committing to our journey, the moment we start loving ourselves unconditionally, it puts out that frequency, and that's what's bringing in this beautiful shift and change. And so many of us have chosen new roads. A lot of us have, broken off from toxic relationships, from things that no longer serve us. And with that, it's tough, and I really feel like I need to honor the toughness of change, because as human beings, we don't always have that broad perspective. We can't always see what's around the corner. And we get lost. We get this feeling of uneasiness, this fear, this anxiety, because we don't know perhaps where we're going. Perhaps this is totally new, uncharted territory. And so I'm really seeing from last week this theme of, doing something new or changing the story of our lives. And for some of us, in a very dramatic way, give yourself the grace this week to navigate that change, to feel how you feel, and to not be ashamed of yourself or hard on yourself if you have those moments of doubt, if you have those moments of like, what am I doing? I'm scared. I'm not sure. I feel lost in my journey, and what was familiar to me is no longer there. And so allow yourself this grace this week. And what's really coming up, for us this week to really manage is to take this as an opportunity for two things. And number one, it's like to reclaim our personal power in life. And then secondly, to become our own best friends, our own cheerleader, our own support system as we navigate change. So what was really coming through this week, it's like, how can we allow ourselves to really be there for ourselves? Because they're showing me, almost like the picture of people and their lives where previously we haven't chosen ourselves, or perhaps we didn't know how to do that. But over time, as our lives have evolved, as we personally have evolved, spiritually, and brought more of this awareness of our inner self to light, we're now coming to this understanding. We're getting more tools to assist us as we go through these navigational periods. Because they're definitely showing me someone with one foot in the past and one foot in the future. And it's like this navigating this stage of in between where we've been planting our seeds for growth of what we want, and perhaps it's not fully in fruition yet. So we're in this transformative phase. We're almost there. But we've got to push through this moment of uncertainty of when is it going to come, what's going to happen. So we need to be there for ourselves. We need to utilize those tools that we've learned to support ourselves. And that is going to look different for everybody. So this week we're being asked to really dig deep within and go, what are my needs? Like, what are the needs that I need to meet right now as I go through this transitional phase? You know, how can I show up and be my own best friend throughout this experience? So it is going to require that a lot of us go in and really do a bit of that introspective work and come to that awareness. So if you're someone, you don't know what you need, you're not sure how you need to be helped or assisted, it's like, take that time to build that awareness. So what they're really showing me is somebody sitting and taking that time out and meditating and setting that intention before you meditate, that be revealed to you. You know, even speaking to your physical body and going, okay, what does my body need? What has my body been telling me? And that's a big thing that's coming up this week as well, is bringing more forward this awareness of our body and our physical responses to things. So they're also giving me this example of the nervous system here. So if we have been, you know, for years trained to be in this fight or flight where we're constantly feeling that threat in life, we're constantly feeling that higher stress. How can I protect myself? How can I keep myself safe? This is really coming forward this week. So if you're feeling that way, if you're like high strung, you're stressed out, you're feeling very lost and unsure as you navigate this new territory, what we're really being encouraged to do is bring forward that awareness of what and how can I support myself and my body through this. So with that, breathing exercises was really key, and they were really bringing this forward this week. Breathe, you know, be mindful of your breath. Be mindful of the signals your body is telling you. Okay, next was really coming forward was grounding. So really connecting with earth, going for a walk, connecting with nature. It really helps. It brings forward these frequencies that help us feel grounded, that help us feel supported. The other thing they're suggesting is talking with a trusted friend that can be a listening ear for you, that sounding board, because I'm seeing a lot of us need to communicate and almost develop more of this communication skill. So don't hold in how you feel. Don't hold in your fear and your anxiety. You know, let it come out of you. Communicate your needs. Communicate that need for support, or just having someone to listen to what you're experiencing. And I'm really seeing, they're actually showing me that others are going to have really good advice for you. So be very mindful. Reach out and gain support in your life, okay? So utilizing these tools is going to be very, very helpful for you as we move forward through this unknown. So trust. This was the next huge theme that was coming up this week, is our ability to trust. Trusting the universe, trusting ourselves and our own resiliency as we go through unknown. And once more, this is not an easy thing for us as human beings to do, but this is what we are really being asked to do. And when we move into that state of surrender, that state of trust, knowing we're going to be safe, knowing that whatever comes is going to be for our highest good, is really going to be almost life-changing for us. And that's what's really coming forward, is we've trusted so much to get to where we are now, that now it's almost like the universe is giving us this period of time to go in and go, okay, where there's still fear, where is there still doubt, where is it that we need to find our inner courage, our inner strength, and really go in and do that. And I feel like it's almost like, and I don't like to use this word like test, But it sort of is. It's like this awareness of, let's bring in this fear of unknown. Let's bring in this stage where it's like, okay, are we really going to trust ourselves? Are we really going to push past this final, obstacle before we get to our goals? Can we maintain our resiliency, our trust that we are safe? And so this week, have that awareness. How can I prove to myself? How can I show up for my inner child the way I have never had others show up for me? How can I become my own cheerleader, my own healer of myself and my body? And it's this beautiful awareness that comes in of empowerment. And that's what they're really showing me, is we might feel this fear, we might feel this trepidation, and that's normal, but it's how we respond to it, it's how we react to it that makes such a profound and lasting difference. So be very mindful this week of how we can trust, how we can move into that state of surrender and show up. Okay, so trust the process, trust the unfolding of life. Know that no matter what, you have been able to make it to where you are now. So trust, if you can make it through what you have in the past, all those challenges, all those hurts, all those wounds, you can get through this stage. All right? So trust, my friends. Trust all that's meant for you will always be meant for you. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be there for you, and it's waiting. So just trust as those seeds start to grow and bloom. So really be mindful of your body. Really work at releasing, and really let go of the need to control the outcome. So this was another side note that really wanted to come in for us this week, was releasing the need to control. When we want to control situations, it's because we're fearful of things going awry. A lot of the time, it's where it's stemming from. So we're bringing this awareness this week as well to where this fear has made us have this need. So as you go through this week, bring that mindfulness in. Where am I trying to control situations? Where am I trying to control outcomes? Where am I being too strict in my viewpoints, my perspectives of how things need to be? And where can I be more flexible? Where can I let life lead me? How can I surrender control and let the universe show up for me? Because they're really showing me that you have put in the work, and it's almost like you're at a loss now, where it's like, I'm doing all the work, I'm trying to create more work almost to make this outcome happen, and it's not happening, which is only breeding more fear and frustration. So with that, the universe is going, no, slow down, breathe, let go, take a break. You've done the work, you've manifested what you want, and it's just going to take a bit of time for everything to come together, for everything to line up the way you've been wanting it to line up. And even if it doesn't happen the way you want, it's going to happen the way it's supposed to for you. So once again, we rise out of the victim mentality into our empowerment, where it's like, okay, I can let the universe handle this now. I can release control. There's nothing that I need to keep myself safe from. The universe has got me, has got my back. So trust, and really allow yourself to release control. So even when it comes to maintaining our goals, even when it comes to forward motion, if you have that urge to force this week, we're being called to hold back, let go, surrender. And remember that if we want a life of ease and grace, then we literally have to start creating that environment for ourselves right now. And how we do that is it starts all with how our perspectives are on things, what our mindsets are, how we are actually doing life now. That's what's perpetuating the energy. So how can you cultivate more ease and grace right now in your current experience? So once more, really put that goal in the forefront of your mind of how you want to feel, how you want this next chapter to be, and be mindful of that. Be mindful of how we're going to keep, even through the hard times, maintaining our grace, maintaining that energy of inner peace. So once more, do what you need to do to be more in that frequency, to be more in that state, and take the initiative to make sure and ensure your life becomes that paradise that you are trying to cultivate right now, however you can. It's really cool what we're getting this week, this advice. So once more, have compassion. Allow yourself the grace. Allow yourself to move through this human experience and recognize that it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be just so. It just needs to be perfectly you, just perfectly your own, however that looks. Okay? So from there, we have some advice for some inner reflection, more into the state of our partners and relationships. So I saw this really big theme of mirroring coming through this week, where we're being asked to go a little bit beneath the surface and see the big picture of our relationships and see what they are teaching us this week. So be very mindful if there's very predominant relationships in your life, and if there's certain themes that come up with that, something that really is bothering you right now, or something that really you love about this person, it can go either way. And be mindful, what is this person mirroring to me? What is it within the reflection of themselves? Where can I see a reflection of myself within them? So I'm really seeing that we're going to get a lot of insights from our close relationships. And it's really important that we show up in our relationships this week. So take what you can, and take this example. So they're kind of showing me an example of a couple. And one of the individuals is, say, in this forward movement where it's go, 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 and there's so much to do, there's always so much stress, there's so much anxiety, and they don't know how to just stop working. Maybe they're a workaholic, maybe you hardly see them, maybe they're so busy it drives you nuts because you don't get that time together, you don't get that quality time together, and so we'll use that example and then go, oh, if that's what's really getting under my skin right now, if that's what's really bothering me about my partner, then where am I doing that myself? And so this week, it's like turning things around and going, oh, okay, where is this a reflection of me? Where am I doing the same thing? Am I prioritizing quality time with myself? Am I giving myself enough breaks where I can actually spend that time going in and relaxing and resting and rejuvenating myself? Or am I so worked out? Am I so burned out? Am I too much in my masculine energy where I'm forgetting to slow down and connect? Right? So it's like really using that example. There's so many examples of mirroring, but we're really being called to go into that a little deeper this week. So what are those takeaways? What can we learn from the person we're with, or from the people that surround us? What are they showing us? And recognizing that every single relationship has something valuable to teach us. So when we get that higher perspective, what are you being taught right now? So while we're in this state of in-between, how can we make the most of our current situation? How can we make the most and really learn what we're being meant to learn? So I'm really seeing some people journal this week and going into that, going, okay, what am I being taught? What are these people reflecting to me? What is it that I need to integrate a little bit more fully? Where do I need more acceptance, more love, more ease, more grace within my own reality? So it's really powerful what we're learning this week. And as we start kicking off Mercury retrograde, it's really going to be inspiring because we're really getting the answers. We're starting to dig deep. And even though sometimes we can feel that confusion, it's like there's still truths to be found in that. It's like we're really digging into our shadows. We're really seeing things as they are in a lot of ways. So really take that time to get that clarity. So what can we learn? Now, from all this seriousness, we have a huge theme that's going into playfulness and exercise and movement. So this wanted to be its own theme that channeled through this week, where it's like, okay, we're going to have a lot of seriousness. We're going to have a lot of introspection. We're going to have a lot of that deeper diving, but don't forget your joy. Don't forget to play. Don't forget to let go. And if you were someone you're taking life super serious, then you know it's time to have more play. It's now time to have more fun, because the moment we start enjoying life, the moment we're in the experience of play, we're not thinking about anything else. We're surrendering. And that's one of the best ways we can elevate our energy. That's one of the best ways we can truly be in this state of surrender, is when we're actually having fun and we're so present in that experience. So get creative this week. What is it that puts me in a state of play? What helps me let go? What helps me surrender? And so they were showing me the example of playing sports or exercising. And this was something that was really coming up, exercising in ways that feel good to you. So what makes you feel good? Is it dancing? Is it yoga? What is it that brings you that state of elation and feeling good? Okay, so prioritize that playtime. What lights you up? They're also encouraging creativity this week. So painting or, sculpting, different ways that you can use your hands and use your mind and focus it on creativity that really helps us put us back into joy, happiness, pleasure, as well as the present moment. So from there, we have a beautiful theme of education and downloads. So this is actually a theme that continues from last week, and it's very, very strong this week. So if there has been education that you have been called to pursue, if there's things that you've been called to learn, I'm really hearing it's time to go into those things. And they're almost showing me like little things that perhaps we haven't prioritized. And I'm seeing that bring huge spiritual downloads and awakening. So as an example, books. Okay, so they're showing me books. So it's like if you have found a book, or there's been a book that's intrigued you and you just haven't had time to read it, I'm hearing you need to read it. I'm hearing this week, prioritize those little inklings that you've had, or a movie or a show that you're just like, wow, I'm really drawn to watch this. Watch it, because I'm hearing some of the messages in the movie or in the book are going to resonate with you really, really well and inspire spiritual downloads where you're going to go, oh my gosh, I relate to this. Oh my gosh, I'm called to this. Oh my goodness, this is what I needed to hear. So be very mindful of those almost obscure ways that we can be getting messages from our guides and from the universe that sometimes we don't prioritize. And they're really specifying reading this week. So get that education, read that book that you've put to the side. What is it that you've been called to look deeper into and follow those inklings? So what I wrote here when I was channeling was, what work or education are you being called to pursue? What sparks your soul? Where is your soul called to? Travel and dream. Okay, now this is what was so beautiful, is when we do this, we're getting this motivation, we're getting this inspiration. And with that, we are more encouraged to daydream, where it's like, oh my goodness, yes, I could see myself doing this. Or, oh my goodness, yes, this feels really good. I want to envision what my future would be if I did this. And with that, that's actually spurring forward our manifestations. So when we visualize, when we daydream, that is all so important. And all of that matters matters. Whether we see the results right away or not, that's going to be coming in later. The more we dwell on it, the more we put that good energy into that vision, the more it spurs that manifestation forward. So I'm seeing a lot of change come in with this. And it was really cool because I'm actually seeing some people relocate. I'm seeing some people be inspired to travel this week. So if those themes come in for you, get excited, because I'm really seeing we're needing to prepare for these changes. So specifically with the relocation, we're going to use that example because that is what I was actually really seeing was moving, change of location. And what was coming through was get prepared, get ready. So how can you do that? How can you start preparing for this change? What preparations need to be done? What spring cleaning needs to be done, right? And this was such a great example. So it's like the more we start taking action, even in small ways, the more we propel that energy out, that it's like, yep, we're getting ready. We're going to do this. We're going to move. We're going to relocate. This is spurring that energy to making it true, to basing that into reality. So what I'm really seeing is that if that is your goal, then get inspired and start doing those things. So one of the big things was spring cleaning this week in all areas. So because we're really doing this self-evaluation this week, it's important that we actually clear our physical space as well. So if you once more are getting caught up in the anxiety or stress, if things are chaotic for you right now, it's like get rid of the clutter, get rid of anything in your environment that is adding to the problem. And so I'm really seeing spring cleaning highlighted, clearing the old to make space for the new. And with that, a lot of joy comes forward. A lot of new inspiration comes forward. And we're able to get a little bit more clarity as towards our next steps. And with that, they're just showing me it's very grounding. It's bringing us back to the present when we clean, when we're in our present moment. That really can help with our stress as well. So from there, we have celebrations and joy. So making time to celebrate. So kind of circling back to this element of play, but a little bit different. So what I was really seeing is with the celebration, with the celebratory energy, what I was really seeing is us congregate together. So making time with our loved ones, prioritizing our close relationships that make us feel good, and celebrating, having fun together. And I was just really seeing that need to be prioritized, bringing about that fun. So who in your life can you call upon? Who in your life brings you that beauty, brings you that happiness, that joy? And how can you truly prioritize that more so in your life? So from there, we have a theme of money and finances. So what was really interesting about this is we might have these money fears that sneak in this week. So while we're contemplating this change in our lives, perhaps some new education, some new opportunities, we might be like, oh my goodness, how am I going to afford this? Or, maybe we're penny pinching right now. Maybe we're worried. Maybe we have this fear of like, okay, I need to stick to a budget, or I need to wait. Okay, so if this is the mentality that you have developed, if this is what your fears are, we're being asked to review them and to be honest about them this week. So if you find yourself triggered by money, really be mindful. Why am I triggered? What is this bringing forward for me to learn about myself? What is the story that I need to change when it comes to finances, when it comes to my financial future? Because I'm seeing as we dream, as we, start cleaning out the old, this is part of that. Okay, so the spring cleaning, this really ties into these fears as well. The celebration, this is all connected, right? So with that, it's like, where can I improve? Where am I needing to release? Where do I need to get some planning done? So as we start making these goals, as we start moving towards our dreams that we know perhaps aren't fully here yet, but we want to prepare for them and get ready for them, what I'm seeing is making lists, planning these goals so we can get the fundamentals, so we can get this awareness of what we need, to do practically to make this a reality. Because once again, it's one thing to daydream, it's one thing to, be in that energy, but we also have to ground it into reality. So we need the balance of both. So this week we're being called to do that introspective work as well when it comes to our field of finances, when it comes to our money, our investments. But we're also being reminded to not be overly stingy almost, where it's like, okay, we need to have balance. We don't want a penny pinch where we're worried over every single penny, or we're worried over spending a dime. It's like we need to make sure that we also are prioritizing investing in ourselves, okay? So what I was seeing here and what they were bringing in was these investments are going to pay off. And these former investments that you've already done are paying off. So they're just showing me some people that are in the midst of making a commitment to self, maybe putting some money into education or putting money into something they really want to do. It's like, don't worry, that's going to pay off. And then others who've already done this investment and now they're like, oh my gosh, now what have I really done? I've put all this money and time in. Is it really going to be worth it? That doubt and that fear can come in. But once again, it's like, don't worry. Everything that's meant for you is going to be meant for you. Don't worry. Release your stress, release your fear, okay? And really go into the money fear. Why am I so afraid? Am I so afraid of losing money? Why am I so afraid of, investing in myself? Is it, my family story of growing up with how did they view money? Is that what is impacting me now? Or is it this energy where we're afraid that we're not going to be able to complete it or stand true to ourselves or really commit? So what was really interesting was this encouragement was coming through of not being afraid to take a chance and choose yourself. And immediately I felt this ache in my heart, like a very substantial aching. And with that, immediately what came through was worthiness. So where do we still attach to a story that we're not worthy, that we're not really worthy and deserving of our dreams and investing in ourselves, investing in our education, in what we really feel called to do? Why are we holding ourselves back? Why are we hindering, our forward progress of what we really want to do in life? And they're almost going like, in the end, is it going to be worth it to you? If you keep doing what's the practical thing and you penny pinch and you never spend a dime on yourself and you never invest in yourself and what you want to do, will you not regret that at the end of your life? Are you going to look back and go, man, I'm so glad I saved all that money, or I'm so glad I didn't? It's like, no, of course we're going to be really mindful of what those experiences brought forward for us, the joy that brought us, the education, and if not, what we learned from it, right? So what I'm really getting is we're learning to no longer fear life. We're needing to start surrendering to the human process, surrendering to the human experience, and live, mistakes and all. And to remember there are no mistakes. So this is all really tying into this removal of fear and moving into a state of trust and worthiness. So worthiness was really, really coming up. So where do I really believe I'm worthy? So what I was wrote here was remove the fear standing in the way. Remove the stress. Review your past. Learn from those experiences and trust your resiliency. So what was really beautiful was trust your ability to triumph over fear. And once more, how can you do that? Through love. Through loving yourself harder than you've ever loved yourself before. By asking yourself the question, what is the most loving thing that I can do for myself now? And taking action. Taking loving action towards yourself. So cultivate patience in your journey. Know there is no rush and ask for help and assistance. Okay? So this beautiful final theme was ask for help. Where can you ask for more help in your life? Where can you ask for more support in your journey? So it's super important this week that we really take advantage of the support that's available around us this week and really give ourselves those tools to meet our needs. So asking your guides, asking your angels, asking your loved ones, I'm going through this change. I'm struggling right now, and specifically telling them what you need is really important to make sure that you receive the love and support in the way that you need to receive it. And they're really specifying to be specific. Be specific with your guides as well. Set intentions with your guides. Ask your angels, thank you so much for helping me ground my energy, to helping me know I am safe, for helping me see that I'm always supported. Thank you. Always bring in that gratitude, trusting, knowing, bringing in that confidence that they are going to be there and that they are going to help you. And what's amazing is we're seeing that evidence this week. So I'm really hearing, look for the signs, because they're going to be abundant this week. Look for those little synchronicities, those little things that happen in your life that go, hey, you're not alone. We're here. We've heard your prayers. So really be mindful of those signs that are going to be coming in this week as well. So my friends, that is all I have for us this week. What a beautiful week ahead. We have some beautiful things that are going to be happening for us. And it's giving us this wonderful opportunity to really stand once again in our power, in our authenticity, and really bringing forward that courage and that bravery to start moving towards our goals without fear, with confidence in ourselves. So absolutely wonderful week ahead. So my friends, please let me know if you enjoyed this reading. I love hearing from you in the comments below, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful week. Have a beautiful, blessed day, my friends. Bye-bye.